this is going to be a different kind of session than what we had before. I guess, like you can see on screen, this is definitely a more world-building oriented session where we're going to be talking more about certain parts of the world, certain parts of different regions. We'll be talking a little bit about Artavia, a little bit about Kusanali, a little bit about uh, the Untamed Wilds, and a little bit about brain, not brains, but like knees.
Yeah, May, could you remind us as to what your nation is?
Asta.
Is it Asta or Atla?
Asta.
I mean,
Asla.
Asla. Let me. Again, I also apologize to peoples because I'm a little low energy right now. A little you say undercooked or overcooked?
Technically, both. Like, you're seared on the outside, but still kind of raw.
Cordon bleu.
Someone just didn't cook me properly. Like it's burnt on the outside, but it's still pink on the inside. Because fuck you.
Yeah. And welcome back to our channels, everybody.
I apologize for the weirdness.
So.
Oh, come on, internet. I believe in you. Probably shouldn't, but I believe in you.
Fair enough.
Load the thing.
Just in terms of. How do I word this? Noah, which nation do you want to start with?
Well, we'll get into that once I can remember. This is gonna bug me now if I don't do it. I don't freaking remember that if I don't the actual name because it's Asta. You just named it after a shonen character.
I mean,
very good.
Kusanali is technically named after a character in Genshin, so one of those deals of don't point fingers at May.
Well, Sam might be able to figure out that there are certain things. There's a certain reason why a certain nation is named the way that it is.
Yep. Yep.
So after the incident there, the governor kind of like so there were two necromancers, and they were found. They were kind of going to fight some people. We basically took care of their main forces, or at least some of their main contingents, and they weren't expecting this. They were not expecting any of this. They don't know what they were expecting, but they weren't. They knew what they were expecting, but they weren't expecting this.
Yeah, they weren't expecting an international contingent to get involved.
This is a double-edged sword because now they know that you're there, but they also there's also the fact that nations only vaguely know about each other. That's kind of the point of this, is that they usually, most nations only vaguely know about each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
While they know that a creature like that's pretty dangerous, and that a mech's pretty dangerous, and that a scholar has their talents, and that the gun person and
They don't know the details, is what you're trying to say.
they know general things about the characters. They don't know the full details. But the two necromancers were the two necromancer cultists have been kind of taken in, and the governor says to you something to the effect of needing to take care of the bureaucratic side of this, otherwise, otherwise people will not let him hear the end of it. So he's got to deal with the bureaucratic side of this
Yeah.
before he can get back to you. But he does leave you with the effectively the recruitment papers, which sort of detail like. Well, we can get into the detailing of that later, but effectively it talks about the like. Should you choose to accept this request, there will be deals made to make things worth your while, not only for yourself but also for your country, because let's be real, that's part of the reason why you are here.
Fair. Before I take a look at the papers too hard, can I actually check to see how old that ogre body is?
The Zombogre?
Yeah, is it recently was it recently raised, or was it like a couple months?
Arcana check?
And the reason I ask is because if it's been recently raised, it might be more. 27.
Okay. Yeah, that's still a fairly fresh corpse that you kind of take note of before it starts getting burned. Or before it starts getting cremated, well, hauled off and then cremated.
Yeah. If the governor
you know how dealing with necromancers works.
Yep. Confiscate anything important and burn the rest. If the governor is still around, Beatrice is going to kind of look at him and do that was a recently raised corpse. I think we might have bigger problems on the periphery coming.
Of course it was. Thank you.
Stab, 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 stab.
Careful, you might set your weapon on fire.
Puts it away.
But before that's like Luke is trying to. So Luke tries to track the pile bunker as well. Get. All right, let's take a look at this thing. What's going on here? Well, the power's fine. Oh, well, maybe that's too much power. All right, fuck it. Send that data off.
Would you like an extra light? Would you like an extra light?
I'm able to see the issue with it. It shot out with too much force, and
Is it were the
material wasn't.
hydraulics
They thought it was
damaged,
more
or
force than the. Well, there's that. There's the hydraulics are damaged, and well, there's also the fact that the actual pile, the spear itself, is jammed forward. So it shot too far forward. It's fine. And he sort of releases it, and when he does, there's a bit of a familiar thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
To you be anyway. The pile bunker itself sort of like dematerializes in these like particle effects, these sort of like prismatic particle effects.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can't use that thing as a power weapon just yet. And then on his back, to replace it, is a familiar saber to you.
Yes, the standard issue Octavian saber.
Still just as good for getting into certain, let's say, fortresses that don't want you to get in there.
I was going to say
Good
any
times. Good times.
hairy situations, but yes, that works too.
Well, I think I see what the problem was. That was too much power output in general. I was using I was Hercules system while also using a power weapon.
So in other words, you've managed
And
to.
I didn't know which one to.
You've managed to overload it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, so I know not to do that.
Isn't it like the first lesson most pilots learn? And she means this in kind of a joking manner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I shouldn't have overloaded it, but also trying to, it's still a prototype weapon.
Completely understandable.
Also, is Garuk still like squeeing over the giant like metallic creature?
Alice, it's you.
Alice?
sorry.
Now that you have time to properly look at this straight. Also, the goblin goes to go get a drink. Oops, I need to open up the thing on the other side there now.
At this point, it's probably a drink and a bath.
We narrowly avoided the splash zone last time.
Still.
Like Rook is he's still confused as fuck about mechanical beast, but is also mesmerized by what would constitute as the science behind it, but from his perspective, magic. Basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing this to be disrespectful, he's just genuinely curious, and he pokes the mech with his weapon. Not to be, again, he's not doing it out of disrespect, he's just genuinely curious, like, well,
That's actually a cool thing because as you poke the mech with your weapon, there's this like energy field that materializes. It's like this strange wall made of light.
stance, slowly putting his weapon around, still on guard, but he's realizing, I'm not gonna get hit.
Octavian defense technology?
The force field around the mech.
Remember, I don't have the clearance to see most of this technology, so the fact that I'm seeing it firsthand.
Because what you have to. Sorry.
And then he points. And then he with his spear in one hand and the shield that's like. You actually notice the shield's kind of permanently attached to the left hand, the left arm, which is kind of my way of saying because like it doesn't limit the class itself doesn't limit how many shields you can put onto the thing. So my is it's only one. You can only have one shield on there, but it's permanently attached, so you can use a weapon two-handed, or you can dual wield while having the shield active. But you can't have two shields active. That's my way of dealing with it. Anyway, he sort of points to you, like the machine thing sort of points to you. You go for it, and he sort of like puts his shield for you. Like he makes like a defensive stance. If you're looking to try it out, go for it. Hit me.
Huh?
Just
He hears the words "hit me" and he's just like, "Okay."
step back.
And I'll be using the Oni bat, and that is a D20. Come here. D20. There we go. Fuck!
Time to improvise.
Fuck it, I'll roll the D100. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's fine. I have to set something up. Oh, there it is.
Oh, for hell's sake. Where did you go?
You, and then also...
You can do the digital dice if you really can't find it.
You, and then...
There. Even though I was gonna try... And I
I'm
just
gonna let you
found it as I
auto
took a
hit.
step back. God damn it.
Okay. Do you want to roll the physical die to see if it...
Yeah, I'd rather roll the physical die.
Then just take the out of it? Okay, go. Oh, yeah.
18.
That's... Hang on. Give me a moment here. I need to open up the... Forgot to set up this thing, partially because of what kind of session that today is going to be, and partially because I'm just a big dumb dummy.
No, you're just absent-minded.
On plus 5. That level. Oh. Open up character sheet so I can. Remember.
Mm-hmm.
As if I were to do a long rest, never mind. Wait, no.
So, for those of you watching on my end, technically speaking, that token and that token are the same health. The green bar is the same thing between the two of them. If I could link them up to be changed whenever one is changed versus the other, that would do it. But not so. But anyway, because I'm kind of letting you hit, because he's kind of like letting you hit him. Despite that not hitting his AC normally, you're still kind of hitting him, quote unquote.
Right.
It's just sort of he wants to demonstrate the thing.
So it would hit, but it's gonna bounce off.
Kind of.
Alright.
As you go to hit roll damage, just roll the dim.
Okay, give me 1 second here. see. Just a 1d8 plus a 1d10. Yeah, 1d10.
No, the 1d10 is if you're two-handing.
Oh, for 2 handed. Then it would
If
be
you're one.
a 1d8 plus 2. Sorry.
Okay, go for it.
Soft 8. What that means is I rolled a 6 plus the 2.
So it's
Okay,
just
so
8.
So 8. Okay. And then,
Yeah, that's why I said
since
soft
she's still
8.
technically in Heracles mode. Did it function still? So, two things right off the bat that you notice. The first thing is that as you go to hit with your Oni bat, and every Garuk, you kind of know this. You notice it because you're there and you're the one doing it. Anyone who wants to, go ahead and roll a perception, please.
Can I just notice this passively?
Oh.
Like, does it have to be active?
For it
Shoot,
to
my
be,
brain's
unless
not
you
wanting
can
to work.
explain why it would be passive.
All right.
Give me a second. My
19.
brain's not wanting to work here. $25.
Accept the name.
It's the thing that helps us play D&D. Also,
No,
Garuk,
no,
you need
it's
to roll
not
it
bad at
because
D&D.
you're the one that Garuk, you already know because you're the one doing it. The other two of you are able to sort of notice it as well from watching. As he goes to swing the bat, first off, the first thing you notice, especially you, Garuk, is something seems to push the bat away as you're going in for a strike, which sort of slows down and dampens the attack. It does manage to connect with something, but as it looks like it's about to connect with the shield that you're aiming to hit, this like strange projection of light sort of intercepts before you can even manage to hit the shield, and sort of boom, and it sort of bounces the weapon back, which is effectively my way of saying with this system, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing damage that he takes is reduced by double his proficiency bonus, and there's also that force field that's active.
Hmm.
Managed to damage the force field a little bit, but not by as much as you would have expected.
He's just like, oh, he wants to be funny with me. Okay. He's gonna swing again, but with it being the two-handed.
Okay.
Uh, 25. And that is a 1d10.
Yep.
Sorry.
That one actually hits regardless.
1d10. And it's a 1d10 plus what?
Plus your strength modifier, so +2.
Plus 2, okay.
And Is he proficient? Because you had proficiency on that one as well.
You only got a 25, so yeah.
But because of the Oni bat, it's a +5 to the attack.
Oh, so it's 2d10.
So it's a crit, so you roll 2d.
Twice.
Yeah, roll 2d10s then.
Okay. Plus the bonus modifier, that's an 8. And for the second one,
8 and a 3. Well, actually, I'll say that the first roll is a 10, so 10 and a 3, so 13 plus your strength, so that makes it a 15.
okay.
And that is a successful save. So you don't knock the I don't know how that would function with the force field anyway, but you don't knock the shield arm uselessly limp. But this time you do manage to actually, again, there's still that weird dampening field where it feels like
He's slugging through basically what would feel like oil or just sludge is just slowing him down as he's swinging. Right?
Yeah, it feels like you're hitting through. It feels like you're trying to swing that thing in water. You're in one of those swamps and you're trying to swing it while fully submerged in water. But you do manage to actually whack something good. It still doesn't break through the force field though.
Right.
Look at this like hexagonal pattern shield generator as it field that gets generated as you sort of bend to it.
Just jump back and basically in his native tongue, he would start basically cursing at it and just being like, generally, what the fuck?
What native tongue?
If I remember correctly, his is both Draconic and Primordial. We never got a chance to put the languages in, which I was asking for, but we never got a chance to, but oh well.
Lizard folk, at least from the race itself, is common and Draconic.
Oh, so you have common, Draconic, and Primordial. I think.
Yeah. Thank you.
So
because those are the three that I was after. Sorry.
Cursing in Draconic or in
Primordial. He's cursing in Primordial.
Okay.
The minute Beatrice actually that it clicks, Garuk. You might not want to.
But he looks at her, he's not looking at her like being a cocky or being like, oh, I'm this or that. No, he's genuinely looking at her confused as fuck all. Like, what?
I understood what you said. Don't use that again.
Am I gonna have you? Garuk, roll for intent.
Oh boy.
So roll 2 d20s.
Oh boy. And this is with a disadvantage, correct?
No.
No.
You have to roll them separately.
Separate d20.
Okay. Plus the it's a 19, but because of the modifier, it's a
no.
There's no modifier.
Just straight.
Oh,
There's no modifier.
19.
Okay, so 19
okay,
and
11.
Okay, there you go. So, with rolling for intent, the way that functions is, you would roll. So the way that it functions is you roll with 2 d20s, right? And the one that is furthest from 10 is the one that gets it. And if it's positive, then if it's above 10, then you describe to me your intent and how that translates across. If you roll below a 10, and if the one that wins is below the 10, then I describe to you how it functions, how it comes across, what happens. Since you roll, since the better one, I mean, they were both above a 10 anyway.
Yeah.
Describe to me how that comes across.
It's generally he's doing it out of like what? Confused and just confused, scared, and shocked. It's like those moments where it's like
Yeah.
is really what he was saying in Primordial.
Oh, so like when
Like a baseball almost hits you in the face, like God damn it, or
like when Kype strung along a shit ton of curses because he was being chased in the back rooms. Got it.
yeah.
Mhm.
Generally, the cursing wasn't intention. What the intent of it was not to be insulting. It was more like son of a, like fuck, like scared out of his mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Is what
Yeah,
it was.
more like holy fucking shit.
yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And Beatrice is just doing the I understood what you said. You might not want to use that again.
Please be careful. And he hops out of the. Luke hops out of the machine and presses some buttons on his little arm keyboard thing, and it shrinks down to about the size of a suit of armor.
Is
Sort
this
of
like plate or?
It is plate. And in fact, go ahead and roll an investigate. I'll let you roll. I'll let anyone who wants to roll an investigation check.
Okay.
But there will be a basic int check. So,
Excuse me, due to my -1 modifier, that is a 16. I rolled a 17, -1, 16.
oh, nice.
Also 16.
You know, just as well. And that's a weird fucking golem. May.
It's weird fucking.
I can try to explain things later if you'd like.
So, two of you noticed a particular shine about the metal. Garuk, would you mind rolling a basic intelligence check?
And this is with
Or
adding the modifier,
perhaps-
correct?
What kind of tool? Hang on, what kind of tools do you have?
Well, is this to cook? Not much.
No. Just roll a basic intelligence. Just straight basic intelligence.
With the modifier or no?
Yeah, with your int.
Okay.
I would have said Smith's tools with int, but you don't have that, so.
No. Not yet, anyways. 14. I rolled a 15, but because of my -1 modifier, it's a 14.
Okay. There are the two of you know it by different names. B, you might know it by both names,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest, or you might know of both of its names. But Garuk, for you specifically know it as Star Metal, fallen from or Star Metal, or maybe Sky Metal, something to that effect, where it's metal that has fallen from the sky, like grandfather's gifts
And
to us Earthlings. And for you,
grandfather's metal.
be For you, you recognize that metal as adamantine.
I don't want to know how the Octavian Empire managed to get its hands on this. Or at least maybe I do. I don't know.
What can I say? I was lucky there was a star shower.
Jesus,
That
how her grandfather
that's-
got angry.
that's something that would go into the general notes. Star showers.
About a month ago, there was a star shower over Octavia.
And that's the origin of your.
Let's actually
I didn't mean that in that way, man.
note
Shower that
here.
happened.
General.
That was not the intent. Get that do I, as a person, have to roll for intent now?
Perhaps. So it's Star Shower? Just a.
Yeah, it's called star shower. It's star shower and meteor shower. It's goes by a very.
And these are about as rare as normal meteor showers? In which case, rare?
They're fairly rare. Meteor showers are not as uncommon as they are here. Like in the real world, they're kind of like you'll get one like
Mm-hmm.
Because on ours, it's in a rare occurrence, whereas on here, it's more of a normality.
It's kind of it's more of like a less of like once every
Once every several hundred years.
yeah,
as
instead of once every
opposed
several hundred
to-
years, it's more like it might be closer to like maybe once a year to like once every like 5.
Yeah, so it's a much more common event. Alright, I have put in
What's
a...
less common? What's less common is when they don't is when the meteorites don't burn up completely.
Yep.
That means that there was a big enough chunk to actually land. Which, yeah, Kusanali probably would have known about that.
Yeah. Anything in terms of like military, Kusanali and Octavia are a slight pissing match over. Just to put it mildly.
Mildly.
I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like they're almost like rivals.
It's supposed to be like friendly rivals as opposed to like your
Almost sister nations.
almost. The governing style is definitely different, and
They're childhood friends.
not quite. I at least want to say that the governing style between Kusanali and Octavia is different.
Yeah, Octavia. While there's a rules and regulations thing, they tend to be a little bit more lenient.
Which
On
is
certain things.
surprising, considering it's also an empire.
That's the thing. Certain laws are sort of they're put in place, and you've got to deal like basically the Senate and the Emperor kind of have to come to an agreement on things.
Yeah, they actually have to agree, and the Senate can be a much bigger body than just one person.
Oh, absolutely, it is. The Senate is like, I don't remember correctly, 100 or 150. However,
I don't know. This is a note for your nation, than mine.
Yeah, I know. And yeah, there are a bunch of other people that can vote the Emperor, but the Emperor also happens to have a vote that counts as 50 votes. The reason why their vote weighs more than another vote than another person's is because
They
the Emperor
actually
is
rule the
face of
country.
Empire. Yeah, they rule the country. They are the face of the Empire. They're the ones that have to face consequences and repercussions when shit happens.
Mm-hmm. And this is kind of a note for you, but
And yeah, they're. Oh, go ahead.
Kusanali, the Arcadia is very much like the Senate part of Octavia, where it's like it's effectively a council of 7. Each small group is one of the schools of magic, and they all have to kind of come to a consensus on something, which, depending on the school, can be a pain in the ass.
Oh, by the way, there's someone that is. There is somebody who is on the cusp of becoming an eighth Senate member, as he is forging
A new school?
or attempting to forge a new school of magic. And I think you might know what that school of magic is, as it is something that I've worked on in the past.
It's been a bit. I remember you working on several different things.
Novomancy.
Ah. There's going to at least be one part of the Senate that's going to be like, no. Because, and I'm going to say this now, necromancy and enchantment are like the two heads that are cracked down on quite a bit in Kusanali, simply for what they do.
Yeah.
So they might see this new school and just do the no. Like, we already get cracked down on enough. We don't need another one. Now,
Yeah, well, it'll depend upon how it's um been produced.
yeah, and there's also a chance that it might be folded into the evocation sect, simply because of what they kind of do. Anyway, back on target
Yeah.
here.
And as the armor sort of like set up into like a sort of a container, he kind of puts the armor into a bag of holding. Another metal creature lies down. Simba, there you are.
And
And it sort of it whistles at him happily. Oh, isn't gonna leave you behind, buddy. And he gives this flying metal weird
thing.
Thing. The of head pats.
Yeah, just pat the flying metal sphere. It's fine. Hello, Sibo. It's been a while.
Whistles. Whistles and beep. So something to note: it can understand every language that I can speak, but it does not necessarily speak languages itself. That being said, like its intent tends to get across with the whistles and beeps. It's
Mhm.
kind of like binary, kind of like how R2D2, despite the fact that it's just beeps and whistles, you can still understand it.
Mhm.
Rook is very, very gently just tapping on it.
There is another metallic sound.
I'm ready to know they're going.
Confused and shocked.
Think of it as a small metal pet.
And for reference, it is about the size of it is size small. So
Yeah, small metal pet.
yeah,
A
kind of. He's my little buddy. He's gonna help me out here. I've been working on this in the background a little bit. I remember my first designs were. I remember my first designs were using propellers to keep him afloat, but I found that a gravity chamber actually works better.
about the propellers, but no fuck all clue about a gravity chamber.
And yeah, the minute Beatrice sees the confused expression, I actually don't know how to explain that one. Huh.
Father's gifts.
Um.
He's probably looking at you, Beatrice, while pointing at the.
Kind of using grandfather's gifts to create something akin to, well, your. I hesitate to call her a pet.
Onion?
Yes.
She's not my pet. She's my
more
clutch
of a
mate.
companion.
Or that. She and I hatched at the same time, actually. Squat down, and she's just like, she's basically doing the equivalent of just sitting on the ground while she's just kind of like gnawing at some of her scales.
That kind of reminds me.
We've known each other ever since we came from our eggs.
That one movie.
So the two of you are basically family.
If anything, she's the only family I have left after what a raid did.
Oh.
The moment he says that, you the equivalent of fucking dickheads as he spits into the ground.
Yeah, I'm not gonna chastise you for that one. I'm sorry.
What I do know of my only other family member, but great body is, sadly.
Well, maybe when we're done here, we can go find it. Or at
The
least,
problem is the raid happened long ago.
And you see a light bulb basically pop over Luke's head. Ah,
what are you doing?
nice. So that's their plan.
Oh,
Lieutenant?
whose plan?
Featureless, this city-state here wants to unite this continent. Think about it. Think about all the issues that you've told me about, and that's just what you've been comfortable telling me about me. And you know damn well about Octavia's war with the dragons.
I'm not concerned so much about our nations. I'm more worried about Malava. From what I remember, that negotiation did not end well. And our representative seems to be a bit of a firebrand. To put it nicely.
So the trading didn't go well.
No, or at least from what I understand. And they and the only reason that Beatrice actually does know it is because there was somebody in Kusanali. Well, somebody from Kusanali was there just to kind of keep tabs on the situation, but she doesn't know the details.
Corpse just disappeared. I was gonna say Garuk was gonna raid the bodies, but never mind.
There wasn't much to be had off of them.
Okay, never
They
mind
were
then.
zombies, and I mean, if you wanted a bone from a skeleton, maybe, but like, I wouldn't even feed that bone to Double Joanna.
No.
I know Double Joanna can eat a lot of things, but
Ironically enough, she's
rotting
picky.
flesh is not necessarily something that is good, and
No,
bones from forever ago are not good for either.
for her, yeah, no. And, like how every creature has their
That
own
is
temperament.
strange.
Yep.
Even for her, she's got her own temperament where she doesn't like bones. Actually,
I can see it.
whereas most of her kind, they don't give two shits about crunch.
Yep.
Whereas with
Yeah.
her, she actually picks and nips around the bones as best as she can. She's picky that way.
She likes meat.
Oh, she just prefers the flesh, not the bone.
That's fair.
Oh.
She's picky that way.
On the topic of problems, on a bit of a darker note, Luke, you actually noticed that Beatrice's corruption has actually gotten a little bit worse. Like it's starting to come up into her cheek that's above the mask.
The rot is here, folks.
It's not contagious. I can promise you that.
I'm not concerned about that.
I was saying that out of it.
No, it's more of a. It's more to Garuk and possibly May's character, because this is actually the first time that they might have seen it.
Would have. I was saying it out of as a joke from a different series, different campaign series that I'm watching on YouTube. I was joking from that.
Fair. Sorry.
It's all good.
I know there's no cure, but still offer you what medicines I have. That'll help.
Um,
And he says this kind of hush hush. He says this kind of like
yeah.
to not draw attention to it.
She'll just smile. I've got the recipe. I have every intentions of stopping by. What was the storefront's name? Mad Jane's, I think.
Oh yeah.
See if I can at least commission her so I don't progress.
I think I saw Mad Jane's here. It's down that way.
It's not Kusanali medicine, but at this point I'll take just about anything. But
Who knows? Maybe it'll open a new point of view, a new angle.
thank you though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Garuk and well, I keep forgetting your character's name. You guys can actually kind of see that Beatrice is sickly to a certain degree.
Do you need healing? I think is the term.
My character's name is Hibara.
Well, let me ask you a question. Where do you get your healing from?
Was that to Garuk or to Hibana?
Because Garuk actually
offered.
Yeah, Garuk actually offered.
He just reaches into his pouch. You see him grabbing a few things. You hear a few odd sounds, and then you just hear him just crush it in his hands.
Roll medicine.
From me or Garuk?
Go.
Yeah, for me.
Okay.
That was from the Moon Mother.
I'll have to keep that in mind.
19.
Okay. And now, once again, I'm going to have you roll. Do I do it? Actually, yeah, just because the simple fact of physiology. Roll for intent again.
Yep.
Okay, so I roll that twice without the modifier, correct?
Yep.
Just roll 2d20s without modifier.
Yeah. Okay.
And record the
14.
results of both.
And?
Okay.
13.
Okay.
Oh.
All right. So some
At least it's positive.
It's like a
medicine.
It's like a balm/salve. It's like in color. It's like a yellowish color. Stings a little bit when it's applied to this. It's like, oh, I just walked through like a grove of lemons and basically feel better. Is generally what the salve does.
I
It's
see.
sort of a soothing thing. It's more of perhaps more of painkiller.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's kind of what she needs. most of the time.
Or that with the scent of lemon. But I don't think you want to question the other ingredients that makes it work.
Yeah, I do.
It's a mix of lemon rinds, a aqua, different type of creature, blood from Devil Joanna. When mixed together, it makes a yellowish salve that heals and kills pain.
I see.
Well, yeah.
Well, at the moment I'm relatively well, but I assume this is like in a small jar or otherwise vessel.
He pulls out all four ingredients. These need to be mixed to make it work. Which is why he's holding the solve in his hand out to her.
I'm assuming. Oh, and I'm assuming that they only last so long when
Mhm.
so you have to use them as soon as they're caught.
Okay. All right, and you'll kind of notice that she pulls back her gloves a little bit and puts it on both of her wrists, and then both sides of her neck. Well, we'll see how well that actually does. Thank you.
Welcome. He puts all the ingredients back into his pouch. Whenever my shoulders begin to hurt, that's when I use it. As he just thumbs to his shoulders / to his back.
We'll see how well it actually
You said that
does.
you get your magic from the moon. He looks to you about you said that you get your magic from the moon.
Yes.
Is I assume that's some sort of deity.
The same tree.
Excuse me.
So when you say the
Grandma?
moon mother, do you? And he points to the moon. Is that what you mean, or is it an entity that would reside on or within?
Yes.
Because we have reports of people living on the moon. I mean, people live on Titan as well, but like, so living on a god isn't impossible.
To be fair, it could also be both. See, Hibara, you kind of notice that Beatrice takes a step back, just like she's still engaged with the conversation, but it's a I don't know if I can trust you. I to be completely blunt, my condition cannot be healed using divine magic. The reason I know this is because my family tried and it made the condition worse.
So your tribe let you down.
That is one of many ways, yes.
I mean,
Honestly,
failing to succeed does not necessarily mean failing to progress. It means that they now know what doesn't work. It's like people that it's like when, and I'm not necessarily he sort of looks at you. I'm not necessarily defending them. I know what I know at least what you told me, but
actually not bringing up, and this is this is player to player knowledge. The whole divine thing that was done against her will. She's not bringing that up to Luke. She's not bringing that up to the rest of the party right now.
I don't. I don't remember if she brought that up to Luke ever at all before.
No, she hasn't. Luke. The only thing that is about Beatrice's family is that they aren't in contact. He doesn't know how bad it actually is.
There are some people out there that there's some people within Octavia that, on the topic of dark matter, tend to ridicule they tend to ridicule the scientists that are looking into what dark matter actually is. And a lot of times we are able to find out what it isn't rather than what it is. We'll tend to make jokes of that, but it's still progress forward. It's still eliminating things that it could be. And eliminating means that would be wasted to try and figure out what it is.
Excuse me.
And if it's any consolation,
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that the only person here who would theoretically know what dark matter is B, outside of obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
If it's any consolation, based on the research that I've done, the quote-unquote cure can vary from person to person to person. So it's really just a matter of finding my cure. If one actually exists.
perhaps we will find it in our
Is
drone.
this?
I hope so.
You said before that it's like a magical disease. Is this not more like a curse? It sounds more like a curse to me from my knowledge of magic.
And I assume that we are like walking back to a tavern as as this is going on. It's theoretically both. The way that I've
like vampirism or like cancer.
Yes, where you can receive it and thus have it be a curse, but you can also be born with it, making it a disease. My case was I was born with it.
Wouldn't that make it more of a disorder then? Semantics.
Yeah, she just kind of looks at it like that's semantics and you know it.
No, I mean, she gives him that somewhere is like it just does the semantics.
But on a lighter note of conversation, Hibara, your spell mastery was quite impressive. You think you could teach me to a certain degree?
I'll see what I can do.
You all right?
It's perception that you roll or something out to see if someone's to sense if someone is there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you asking us to roll perceptions on you?
I'm asking the player is asking if I could roll for group perception because he's getting this weird feeling that he's always had that something's either like watching him or he's getting a sense that he's being watched by something.
Oh,
And that nagging feeling is coming back to the a little stronger than usual.
yeah.
So I would
and
roll the perception, correct?
Yeah. That might be something to DM me about later. I don't recall that.
Or at least sticking it in the player notes to the
I
DM.
don't recall that coming up in I don't recall that coming up in character creation. So I'm not saying you can't. I'm just trying to figure out how to wield that or how to use it.
Yeah.
Okay, no, how to wield that against you. That will be a weapon that I will think.
It's a case of
I'm well aware.
you're trying to figure
That's
out
why I asked
how to make it
earlier
work.
if you read the DM I sent you. Sorry.
Hmm.
I'm stupid. I forgot. What the fuck?
You forgot. It happens.
Low energy day would be like.
Yep. Pretty much.
Also, it would be a soft 20.
Oh, so you're just giving me free reign on those characters. With just as long as they fulfill those rules.
If they would, please.
Well, this will be interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
I see.
Give me a second here, folks.
One. You roll, my friend?
A soft 20. I rolled a 13 plus the modifier that makes it a 20. So a soft 20.
And you look in the direction that you feel eyes on you, but you don't see me.
Which would be basically him doing it, completely turning around and looking upward to the sky.
Garuk? What's wrong?
You don't like it there? Maybe it's loud.
No.
It's a bad sign.
It's similar to the gaze my grandfather would give me, but stronger, I guess one would say.
You think you're being watched?
Believe is what you say for it.
Well,
Feels like that. But every time I look in the direction it comes from, I always look like my head's in the clouds, no matter what I do.
Well, you did say that you have no family left.
Perhaps someone's looking out for you from beyond the grave.
Maybe this meeting was fated.
Perhaps.
If it was beyond the grave, would that not? And he puts his hand over his chest. Would that not be?
Well, depends
Yes,
upon the person. It would depend upon the person, really. There's so many ways that you can sense the eyes of your loved one's past watching over you. From the sky, from the ground, from just around you.
Mhm.
Mm,
If it's
I
any
see.
consolation, it's a nice gift to have.
My ancestors smile on me. Can you say the same?
Beatrice will just look at luke and go, no, I can't.
That was with an accent. I was quoting a thing. Don't mind me. Quoting a game that got re-released more times than it really deserved.
I see.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Garuk, you don't really understand the concept of a game being re-released.
No, he would
Either
not
it exists or
whatsoever.
it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But no. Feels stronger at times and then weaker at others. But it's always seeming to feel behind and up. Every time I sense it, he just shakes his head side to side and then just scratches under his chin.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily call it a bad thing.
Let's see. Is this guy a Shonen Pro tag?
Be nice, Lieutenant.
There's a bit of a shit-eating grin on his face.
Garuk has no
not
fucking
like a
clue what that
mean-spirited
word
way,
even means.
I know.
Still, be nice,
He
Lieutenant.
might end up be a protag of such. He's
What?
just a dinosaur.
True. It seems more like more like those 40s cartoons, I think. The year was currently the year
What's
is
a
currently
cartoon?
regular year for the pictures that move.
And tell stories. Or at least, it depends on... It depends.
Oh, we were about to blow this dude's fucking mind.
Garuk's just looking between all three of them and just like,
Man-made media.
Some buttons and the hologram appears again. Those weird illusions.
Are you effectively showing Garuk the equivalent of Looney Tunes?
the holograms because she sees the rabbit.
Oh, I got a cool thing for you. Do you guys want to see the world from the moon?
What?
Octavia's managed to pull that off?
It was a struggle.
When did this...
what with the
When
the
did
rings
this
getting
happen?
in the way. And he presses a few buttons, and you see an orb that appears to have some strange. Wait a minute. That looks like a kind of like your country. And this orb is rotating into a speed.
The Grand Aetherwood tree. I can see Kusanami from all the way up here.
Grook's just trying to grab the orb.
You can't. It's made of light. This is an image.
After a little bit, you can visibly see he's starting to get a little annoyed that he can't grab it.
Why are you
This is a
doing
sped up feed. It's a thing. A bunch of islands. Somewhere. Like there's one of these regions is just a bunch of islands. And there we have actual concrete proof of the Realm Shattering War, or at least that something happened.
But yeah, it's more that something happened. Now, whether or not it's actually connected to the war is a different story.
I mean,
I'm not about to
wars
get
tend to
into
wreak
it.
such devastation.
I'm still not going to get into a debate with you when I haven't had dinner or tea.
Yeah, you guys kind of managed to get back to the tavern. We don't have to debate to discuss it either. We sort of runs the feed off.
Before Beatrice will sit down, excuse me, I need to make sure that everything's okay back home. And she'll step away to contact her retainer, Reina, just to make sure that the office is in order and that things are not going crazy at home.
Okay.
So just
And you get some. So how do you do this contacting?
it's technically through the link pearl.
Okay, it's a link pearl. I was gonna ask, is it like a link pearl? Is it a sending stone? Is it span rate? Okay, so the link pearl.
I will say this: there is at least a couple scrolls of Animal Messenger, but that's only for like you need to get home now type of deals.
The link pearl goes off in a little bit, and you hear what you can only assume is going to be a hello before it gets cut off with a bit of a shriek and a thud, followed by the sounds of an avalanche of books falling over.
Reina?
Hi.
Well, are you hurt? First off,
I should be fine.
you're sure?
Probably. Only books.
Well,
Heavy books, some with metal bindings.
I understand
Who
that.
binds books with metal? It's so tacky.
I don't know. I don't know. nor do I particularly mind at the moment. Considering that Reina does have like she can borrow the books because she is technically going to school at the same time that she's helping Beatrice, so it's more of a okay, I share the
Okay.
knowledge with you type of deal. So I've made it to I've made it out of
Good
Kusanali
news, I landed
and
a job.
well, yes, and basically she kind of gives the recap of I'm safe. There's a shit ton of undead, but I'm fine. And just kind of a touch base. How are you? Is everything okay at home? Type of deal. Just to keep it brief.
Recognize any of the necromancer's symbolage or anything?
Can I do a history check? Because did we actually see the necromancers?
You did. I will allow you to do a history check. Since this is a retroactive one, it'll be at disadvantage because you're trying to think back to it.
Okay. Do history.
It's the same either way.
Either way.
And I'm gonna thing. You recognized a symbolage, but it wasn't. Or you recognized that there was something that you recognized that there was symbolage there, or probably symbolage because they had the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it was mostly like dark profanities in Necro. Necro looks like.
Yeah, it's a case of yes, there was symbolage. No, I'm not going to tell you what they were. First of all, because I don't actually know the translation, and two, if I did, I'm in public.
I mean, so it's not.
It's nothing concrete yet.
I gotta think of a. It's not the fuck. I can't think of a name. It's not the Bloody Graves, is it?
What do I already know about the Bloody Grapes? If
that is
anything,
not their symbol.
yeah, no, this is something different, my dear. Gods, I wish it was the Bloody Graves. That would have made my job so much easier.
I mean, they're mostly just thieves and cutthroats that just want to use necromancy their own way.
Like I said, it would make my job easier. And by extension, yours.
Yeah. How are you, by the way? Are you okay?
Well, I'm still alive. Securing a new supplier at least tomorrow morning, hopefully. Well,
Good.
what about you? I forget, has your term started yet or no?
Starts tomorrow. Give us a little bit of extra time.
And do you at least like the classes that you'll be taking?
Well, presentation is there are some. She sort of starts to like talk about how
Yeah.
there are certain classes that are kind of annoying, and
Yeah, which that's the standard college experience. Just
why is Ulrich gotta be such a stickler for every sort of punctuation?
I and which language is this?
Runix?
Ah. Well, it's not so much the punctuation that's the problem, it's that the runes have multiple meanings depending on context.
Roll
And,
something for Luke.
speaking of Luke, would you like me to pass on your regards?
Luke did hear you talk about Runix. And he pipes in and is like, "You have to make sure that the symbols are in the exact right order, otherwise the entire sentence changes. It's like it's on different words, but worse."
She just kind of looks at him because he would have to actually like get into her face in order to do this. So it's like, dude,
Well,
step back.
you noticed the ear twitch. You noticed the ear twitch.
Mm-hmm.
It's the like it's the autistic. I heard someone. I vaguely heard. Or I heard someone vaguely mention a thing that I have an interest in.
Yeah, and Beatrice will definitely pass that on to Raina, and still ask, "Do you want me to send your regards?" Because she knows Raina's got feelings for Luke, though whether or not Luke actually has feelings for her is a different story.
There is a flustered silence.
Well, the silence is not necessarily reassuring. If you would, just let me know, and I will.
Sure.
Of course. And a couple things before I leave. First, don't forget to take breaks if you need to. I don't need you turning out like me.
It's back to her fifth cup of coffee. And it's a giant, like...
Yeah.
That's a giant stein of coffee.
Raina?
She does not respond to that.
Raina, how many cups have you had today?
2.
Right.
That's a 4 on the die for deception. You don't believe that for a fucking second.
I'm serious. Take breaks. I know a lot of people in Kusanali are going to push you as hard as they possibly can. It's not healthy. And if you want the honest truth, not exactly worth it.
See what I can do.
I'm serious. Please. And the second thing, and it takes her a little bit because there's some genuine emotions there. I know I don't say it enough, but I am so incredibly proud of you.
Thanks.
Now please stay safe. only promise to try, and she'll just cut. Well, she won't cut the call, but it's a hang up.
Yeah, yeah.
Or walking back to Luke and Garuk. Well, mm, my assistant, Lena, says hello, especially to you, Lieutenant. I don't know what she sees in you, but eh, I'm not entirely mad at it. Yes.
There's kind of a look on his face, so just kind of that kind of I concur.
Is to say I concur in a good way or I concur in a bad way?
Um,
Like, to be blunt, does Luke actually have feelings for her or not?
player have not, or as a character, the DM person have not decided that yet because I don't fucking know.
Okay.
We should discuss that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something for more you and
Yeah,
you and
that's
me
something for
and
us to
not
talk
tonight.
about later.
Hmm.
But when he says I concur, it's more of the despite it not being despite it not being the healthiest option, he does blame himself for certain things.
Yep.
You know, like his mother's death and his father's disappearing.
Yeah, Beatrice doesn't know the full extent of that. Just mm,
Beatrice doesn't. Well, Beatrice would know at least about his mother's death.
yeah, she and to which she'll kind of put her right hand on his shoulder because her left is not it's not strong enough to do much of anything. Or at least not without the gloves. So, dinner, some rest, and take on the whatever comes next.
Yeah.
After all, we do have to throw someone dead to solve.
Right.
Though I do wonder, how did those necromancers actually
Oh,
get
what?
into the city? That's the problem. As far as I understand, the city was supposed to
Well,
be safe.
but run a scan. Tell me what you've scanned. Fly around the city. At least a little bit before.
Think of it as like
And
using a
there's this
bird
like
to scout.
Amazed by it flying away.
of the city. No. Drone creates this like three-dimensional map of the city. It's not fully complete on the insides yet, but there's some things of note. No. And it sort of points out to a particular the like north facing wall. zooms in on. First, I need to roll prevent. And anyone else that wants to give them
I'm sorry. Roll.
perception.
Perception. That's
19.
13.
Skeleton. 15. What is the boy you see? Oh boy. What? Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, I see. And there's there's the map zooms in on the north facing wall. And it becomes obvious then. Guru kind of noticed it as well, or noticed something weird where like there were lines on the wall where there shouldn't have been. It was like strange pattern. You kind of good.
No, I was gonna let you finish. Sorry.
You kind of think that there might be runes or something weird, but then as it zoomed in, you realize, oh,
Not good.
something not quite kind of a secret passage, but more of the like was made there recently variety of secret passage.
Mm.
That's new.
Something tells me that the guards didn't know about this.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Siva.
I was going to say, can Sibo deliver a message?
Send that off.
At this point,
Which then leads to the question of how that was created in the first place without notice. Unless
if we can get the jurisdiction, we could actually try to figure out how it came to be. And she'll just sip her tea.
Wait, when was the most recent when was the most recent attack? He looks through the notes.
That wasn't from today?
They gotta give us something, right? What's up?
That wasn't from today?
Oh, that was right. And he's looking through the packet that y'all were given.
Mm-hmm.
And days ago. Hey, how old did you say that corpse was?
I just said it was recent because you didn't give me a definitive,
I said
like...
10 days.
Okay. Oh, dear God. It's 10 days.
Yep. Okay, that.
That makes sense.
That was a faux assault then.
And they really did not expect
The one
us.
before was a faux assault. They wanted to break in. Or to get in.
Hmm.
They were trying to get something.
They were trying to get more bodies.
After all, more bodies means...
More cultists.
Yes.
They're more cultists. They were trying to get more cultists and more bodies. Bodies means more undead. More undead means a bigger army. More cultists means
more of an influence.
More either more peons or more necromancers, which means more corpses, which means more of an army. But
Rinse, repeat until the fall of the country.
witches and necromancers are a pain in the ass because they hide behind their army. Except for when they don't hide behind their armies, and then they're a pain in the ass because they completely fuck with biomancy.
I
Certain
think you decide most soldiers do.
certain sects do, yes. Um, looking that we received, was this city the only city attacked?
No.
That's the concerning part.
Yeah, that's. There are. It looks
This
like there are three major major
points.
concerns, or three major points. Two of them, well, one of them is another village. One of them seems to be okay. Well, there are three other cities, like be it smaller cities that have been targets.
It's still a problem considering if one of them actually gets completely wiped. That's gonna cause
I'm not
issues.
saying that's not a. I'm not. I'm not saying that's not a problem.
Hmm. Uh,
I'm saying we have three main points of interest to look into.
and we'll need to do it quickly in case someone gets smart enough to try a full-on assault using all three sources.
I don't know if they could. I mean, with how we were able to repel this assault. I know this was a smaller assault, but
A lot of
that
things.
they're not
However,
just dealing. Keep in mind, they're not just dealing with assaults on each of these cities either.
hmm.
Druids that were dealing with these people. There were other adventurers that were dealing with these zombies. The caravans are dealing with them. To the best of their ability, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's dealing with them to the best of their ability. These necromancers are fighting a war on several fronts. That's why they want so many bodies. The bodies, and you deny them they're from a defense, which is why, and he just sort of looks to everyone, burn the body.
Guru just gives two thumbs up, like, okay.
After all, it is very hard to reconstitute an undead if they are turned to ash.
They have no.
Sorry, had to yawn there.
No, I'm thinking, because another big concern is collateral damage.
Damage in what regards?
Going in and wiping out a bunch of undead, some innocent people might get caught in the crossfire. I'm not saying that they will,
You
I'm saying
evacuate
that they
them, though.
might.
That's why you evacuate them.
That still takes time.
And he gives her this look. Not like a rude look or anything.
No. It's that takes, and we might not actually have that much time to do.
I think we have more time than you're giving credit for. That, and also a subtle evacuation will not raise alarm. We're not going to go in there and just say, "Hey, you need to evacuate." We're going to go in there and people are going to slowly and interspersedly leave the general vicinity for a little while.
You honestly think that they'll listen to
After all,
us?
we have the governor's graces if we do this.
Mm, out of character, is he like the only person in charge? Or is this
Not
a.
necessarily, but the governor is kind of like final say, but like uh governor's graces to do a thing. Um, it's like saying, "Hey, Mom said it's my turn on the Xbox." Some people will listen, some people won't.
Yeah, it's. I'm concerned that. How, how do I word this? I'm concerned that there will be more people who will not listen as opposed to the people who will.
And that's why we have to fight around them. That being said, for the for those that refuse to see reason or listen, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, as much as I as shitty as it is to say in some regards, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
That's true. You can't exactly cure. You can't exactly cure ignorance, no matter how hard you try. Still, it is something that we should keep in mind going forward.
Right. Obviously, don't intentionally put anyone any innocent in harm's way, but try to if they're in the way, try to push them away from the danger
Mm-hmm.
or throw them out of the danger. Unless they're a child, don't throw children.
Control, right?
Exactly. Ground
Basically.
control. Actually, with the way that my defensive mode is set up, because that's effectively riot control right there. Hey, Karuk, you've never heard of the term riot?
Because 3/4 of these words are just whoop over his head.
Oh,
He's trying his best to
like,
listen, but he's still just like, I have no fucking clue what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
imagine a raid or a siege on your home, but by people within. It's very much area denial. Very much
Need?
effectively.
Take us in your midst.
If I can just set up if I can set up my mech at a choke point, that means all the like I set up Olympus at a choke point, and the more ranged inclined people sit behind me. Uh,
Those who can shoot from afar.
Mm-hmm.
don't have an easier time picking off those targets while I keep their attention. or at least make it harder to get past them.
Making it harder is going to be the better statement. Well, then here's the question. Which city do we want to start at? And kind of looking at the general map, is there any one city that would have some sort of feature, whether it be water or mountain range or something like that, where taking it would be a tactical advantage?
So there is the city of Ladarius, which is that one is settled in, or set in a mountain face that like it's like the Ladarian mountain range a little more known for like worshippers of the sun.
Mm.
Um, yeah. There's the city of Bismarck, which is located by the. It's a port city that is located on the. What's it called? The Serpent's Path River. And then there's the third one that is effectively a fortress.
Alright. Well, my thought is we try to take.
And you can tell why they're trying, why these people are trying to, why the necromancers are trying to take these cities.
Yep. Well, if you want my 2 cents, or 2 gold, 2 copper, as it were, I think Bismarck would actually be our best starting point. To mention, it would give
I agree.
people who are trying to evacuate, it would give them an easy out.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he sort of points to the at the map of the. There's also a faster way. Well, if we take that, it actually leads to a faster way of getting to the other 2 cities.
Mm. All the more reasonable is to take it first and hold on to it as long as possible.
Excuse me.
And yeah, it's kind of like the river. It doesn't connect to all 3, obviously, but like the river connects to like a smaller port town on either side that kind of functions as like almost like a highway type thing where
Mm-hmm.
this town is built on the river, and then it leads to there's like a path that leads to Ladarius or to Fortress.
Karuk, Ibarra, thoughts?
He points at the place where he's super Mark. The reverse raid here.
You also need to figure out when they're planning to attack them as well, or attack them again anyway.
which means we will need to at least keep one alive.
So we need to find a base and put fire inside of it.
Fire inside of their base. I mean, these aren't their bases. These are cities that they're trying to take at present.
Yes,
But they have
let's.
to have a base somewhere. They can't just be.
Yeah. The thing is, the more information we get from of certain degree of knowledge for the area, the more we can pinpoint their locations. That's why.
Protect the cities. We need to go directly to the source as soon as we can.
And have an easier time going to the source if we actually find out where it is first.
We just
And
need a general
first-
direction, and then we move everything in that general direction.
Yeah, but here's the problem. The problem with that logic is that having we don't know where the general direction is. We just know that they're popping up all over the place.
And I know magic can do a lot of things, but I don't have a spell that can definitively point in a direction. And I don't know if you do either, Hibara.
And tight efficient. We move and fetch.
Locate object to try and so we need to gather information first before we can make disagree with the we find the where we go just take doing the necessary preparations and then all out assault.
Be smart before we actually do the assault.
Just need to know where they're at.
I would,
That's
I would,
what I've been saying.
I would like to talk to the governor as well. Just to send out scouts to the three cities, so that way we can start evacuating the populace as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Raising alarms. Yes?
Yes, that's why we're
Correct.
using scouts.
Well, what we need to do as well is we need to evacuate them one at a time. If all three of them are getting evacuated, even if they seem to be getting randomly dispersed, there's too much likelihood of them taking notice and taking advantage of that.
Yes, so we'll at least start with Bismarck because that's our first target.
Yeah.
So we have a plan. And as the would it be an Octavian military saying or would it be a Kusanalian military saying? Let's hope it survives the first contact with our foes.
A little bit of both. Kusanali went had similar regions, but went different routes.
Yeah, Octavian went military. Kusanali went more in terms of structure and more intel route.
But,
And just so
it
you
is
know,
9 o'clock, and
we've crossed the 2-hour mark.
So I will. I'm gonna call it here because I'm still very tired. But thank you also for coming and watching. And if you have, please be sure to check out the Dubsor on the Twitch's.
Make sure to like, comment, sub, follow, all the good stuff.
All that good stuff. And I'll see you in the next video.
Night, fuckers!